and latitude. Shift your position so that you can see the board. Are you focusing on this side?
Yeah.
We are looking at longitude and latitude. The first thing you must know that there are some topics that you must have mastered that will help you to learn this effectively. If you don't master those topics, I will advise you go back and review or revisit those topics. I think this is SS1. Is it SS1 or SS2? Length of an arc, SS1, second of total. No, I'm not talking geography. SS1 to area of sector. Circumference of circle, you did it in junior school, you did it in primary school, and you did it in senior secondary school. SS1 and 2, I think. Area of circle and some other ones, but these are the key ones. Change of subject of formula is a topic, or change of subject of equation is another topic that you must master effectively well if you want to be a good mathematics student. Because from GS3 upward, you'll be manipulating equations and formulas, to make an object become subject. So you must master all these 5. Length of arc, area of sector, how to find circumference of circle, how to find area of circle, then how to manipulate change of subject of formula. Now let's talk about the heart itself. You have a shape that is somehow spherical. So the heart is divided into 2 equal parts by the equator. All these lines I'm drawing, they are imaginary lines. So equator is an imaginary line that divides the earth into 2 equal parts. So we have the equator dividing the earth into 2 hemispheres, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So the degree of the lines on the surface of the earth are measured, the SI unit of measurement of lines on the surface of the earth are in degree and seconds. So the equator has a degree of 0, is in the middle of the earth. I think one of the countries in Africa that equator runs through is Kenya. And go and Google it. The Google search engine will bring you all the countries that the equator pass through and their peculiarity. So the equator is 0 degree. From the equator to the southern hemisphere, to the end of towards the South Pole, the degree continues to increase. Listen, please. The degree continues to increase from 1 degree south, 2 degree, 5 degree, 10 degree, 20, 40, 48, up to 90 degrees south. Is the smallest line of latitude. And as the degree goes up, as the line comes down, the radius of those lines also reduces. Then if you take it from the equator to the top, that is to the North Pole, that is the northern hemisphere, the degree also increases from 0 to 10, 15, 25, 30, 48, 57, 90, up to 90. So the highest degree there towards the north is 90. And as the degree increases, the radius reduces. The radius reduces. Now, we also have another line called longitude. Lines of longitude run from the north to the south and back to the north to complete a circle. So we have lines measured in degree also from 0 to 180. From 0 to 180 across the surface of the earth from north to south, back to south, north rather. Then the radius of that one, which is also the radius of the earth, is constant. It shares the same radius with the radius of the equator, and that radius is approximately 6,400 kilometers. 6,400 kilometers. Now, all these lines are grouped into 2. Come here. We have small circles. That's the first group. All these small circles are all the lines of latitude. But lines of latitude, they are called small circles, except for the equator. The equator is not a small circle because the radius is the same as the radius of the earth, which is 6,400. Then we also have another one called great circles. These are all lines of longitude and the equator. So the equator is counted as a great circle, but it's not a longitudinal line. It's a latitude. Another name for all the longitude is meridians. They call them meridians. So you have radius of the earth to be 6,400, and how to calculate the radius of the latitude, the small circles, is big radius cos theta, depending on the angle that is formed between the two circles. So I want you all to also note this: when you are calculating angle between different latitude, like two latitude, there is an angle between them formed. If it is latitude on the same side of the equator, whether the two latitudes are on the northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere, if they are on the same side, let's take northern hemisphere for instance, you have two latitudes there. How do you calculate the angle between them? You calculate by subtracting them from one another. But if they are on different side of the latitude, let's say, of the equator, let's say one is on the northern side and the other one is on the south